Hey, and welcome to another Podcast Valley Sunday. I am one of your hosts, Chris Paco.
And I'm your other host, Jeff Cameron.
How's it going, Jeff?
Not bad at all. How are you doing today, Paco?
Doing pretty good. Doing good. Excited to get into I was a 99-pound weakling. You
was?
I was.
Oh, you mean the episode?
Yeah, I think I was 99 pounds in probably like grade 3. That was the last time I saw 99 pounds.
God damn.
And I don't know if you saw this. I saw that an AKA for this episode is physical culture.
Yeah, I had never heard of that before.
Me neither. So maybe someone just made it up and now it's canon.
Maybe D. Caruso could explain it later.
Yeah, maybe. Because yes, it's directed again by our buddy Alex Singer and written by, this is a whole slew of people, Gerald Gardner, D. Caruso, our old buddy, Neil Burston, and John C. Anderson.
Wow. And
originally aired October 16th, 1967. Mm-hmm. And it was shot in May 67, so maybe that's why Gardner and Caruso were involved with this, because they're not a second season duo.
There's not a lot of them. I think there's maybe one more. We shall see.
How dare you not know, you bastard. Okay, D. It's early in the show.
Okay, we'll get too early. Yeah, way too early for the D.
It's never too early for the D. All right, so we open up. Micky's on the beach with a girl, Brenda, who's played by Vanita Wolf. Great name, Vanita. Micky's telling her that he wants more than a girl with just physical beauty, and that's why he fell in love with her, because she has intelligence.
Yeah, intelligence.
And then a buff dude, played by David Draper, he's like a really buff dude, like muscle
extremely
builder buff. He comes up and he literally kicks sand on Micky, and he says, "Hey, chick, have we met before?"
Yeah, before.
And it's funny, he refers to her multiple times as chick. And Micky introduces himself, and the guy just tosses him aside like he's nothing. And then Micky lands beside this guru guy, played by Monty Landis, back again.
There he is again.
And he hands Micky a card that says, Shaku's health and strength. It says Shaku's health and strength. But Micky runs back to the buff guy, and he tries to punch him, but he gets nowhere with that. And then Micky gets tossed away again, and the buff dude walks away with the girl, and Micky's handed another card, and he tries to tear it in half, but he's too weak. And he can't believe he can't tear this in half. So we get to the intro. And we come back to like a cool garage rock sounding tune of the Monkees.
Yeah.
And it's pretty wicked. So Shaku is taking Micky through the gym, and he's telling him the benefits of working out and being in shape. And Micky tells him that he might not be in the best shape, but he's no weakling. And then Shaku calls him skinny, and Micky is not into being called skinny at all. And he tells Micky to climb a rope, and Micky sucks at it. And then he says, like, the rope must be greased. And
once again, Micky steps up. It sucks.
It sucks. So
classic Micky.
Do you think, no spoiler alert, but spoiler alert, Shaku here is trying to like wrangle people into this thing. So do you think the rope is actually greased?
Yeah, his hands are covered in goo.
Yeah, he's
man.
hustling, getting hustled.
Yeah, for real.
And so then Micky tries to do the pulley thing against the wall where he pulls the weights away. And it looks like Shaku behind him is messing with something on it. And then Micky gets thrown back against the wall. He tries to pick up like barbells or dumbbells or whatever. And he drops the one end of it. We get the good old stock footage of a building falling down.
Yep.
And this whole thing here, it's a great Micky acting bit. When it's the barbell and he's like trying to lift it and it's squishing him. And Shaku tells Micky that he needs to join, and it's $150 for the year.
Where am I going to get $150, man? I'm an unemployed drummer.
And Shaku tells him to sell the drums and come back.
Damn.
Yeah, pretty harsh. Harsh. And so back at the pad, Micky's packing up the drums, and Davy and Peter are telling him it's a bad idea and it's going to break up the band, which is very true. Just so you can think this one girl who doesn't really care about you.
Guitar player already. We don't know where the hell he is.
Exactly. And Mickey says he's not going to sell his sticks, so he'll be able to play Davy's tambourine.
What the heck?
That would just sound terrible. And so then they ask him if the girl is worth it. And he says she's very intelligent.
Yeah, intelligent.
Don't do that.
Davy and Peter tell Mickey that if he does sell his drums, they should at least use the money for food. And if he really wants to get in shape, they can help him. That's another great thing of how the monkeys are always poor. Always.
For real. And this was a good few minutes before they got to a non-Mickey monkey. Like, I think this kind of happened with the last Mickey episode. It really focuses on him quite a bit. I think we're like 5 or 6 minutes in before we see the rest of the boys who are showing up for work today.
Yeah, it's true. So Peter's testing out their workout gear, and he hits himself in the face with like one of those stretchy things because he has it under his foot. And he turns to the camera and he says,
I wish Mike were here.
and this is the first time this is like, okay, Mike's not here. But by saying that, you're like, oh, yeah, where is Mike going to show up in this episode? Spoiler alert. No.
No dice.
So Davy's doing some sort of like teapot stretch where he's got his hands down and his knees are on his hands. He's like upside down. It's a thing I've seen people do, and it's weird. And Davy says he used to do this after he was riding horses to loosen him up. And then he gets stuck like that. And then Peter and Mickey have to help him up. And he says,
I wish Mike was here.
which is funny.
Oh, boy.
So Peter and Mickey are out on the beach running, and Peter runs into a volleyball net and falls down. And that's that entire scene. And back at the pad, Mickey's all wiped out, and Peter says that he's been working so hard that they got him a little surprise. And Peter opens the door, and it's Brenda, the girl from the beach, but Mickey is too weak to stand up.
Oh, no.
It is weird they got this girl and she came over, so is she really into Johnny Buff dude? You know what I mean?
know.
Like, she must not be. Like, she came over to see Mickey, so I think he should have just let her help him gain his strength back or whatever. Anywho, that would have been the end of the show, though, and we're only like 7 minutes in.
For real.
So the next morning, Mickey's up and at him and ready to go, but Davy and Peter are still in their PJs.
Good morning. What's so good about it?
Early to bed and early to rise.
I wish Mike were here.
A lot of that today.
And I like that Peter is in his orange ones with the bunny on it and the hat.
Yep.
Going from way back. It's a classic. So Mickey says that he's going to go to the beach and teach the buff guy a lesson because he called him skinny. And it's funny how that's an insult to people who are skinny and people who are fat. You call them fat. That's an insult. And the fat people wish that they were being called skinny. You know what I mean? It's an interesting, the grass is greener kind of thing, I guess.
I suppose it is. But also the beach. Is this our first time on the beach in this season?
A very long time.
It felt like the beach was like, a character of the show. Last season, every episode or two, they were hanging out on the beach, even just for a minute. But they live at the beach house. They should be on the beach.
I agree.
This season seems less about beach business and more about going to, fake Mexico and
Yeah.
and other situations.
I wonder if it was like a budget thing. Like before, it was like, well, just go out on the beach because we don't have to pay very much for permits and we don't need to pay for a lot of lights because you got this. It's just like a necessity to shoot outside at the beach. And now they're like, no, we can shoot at the Mexico set. Let's do that instead.
Maybe this is why Mike isn't in this episode and why they've shied away from the beach. We've seen his beach attire before. Like maybe they came up to Mike and said, all right, Mike, get your beach gear on. We're going to the beach.
Go to the beach? Come on, man. Have you seen me in a bathing suit? I'm not. You know what? I'm just going to go get my tonsils taken out because I'm not going to any kind of the beach.
And see.
Thank you, Mike Nesmith. Stop me. I think that's Nike Mesmith. So then Peter and Davy tell Mickey that he doesn't want to get strong just to punch someone.
Yeah, you're right. How about if I kick him?
And they say no. He says they'll get it so he can be with Brenda without having to fight anyone. They just need to be a little underhanded. And like Peter holds out one hand and moves the other hand underneath it to show the underhandedness. And I thought that was really funny.
It's like a Jack Winter joke.
Yeah. But you almost like a little, you might miss it. You don't miss Jack
totally.
Winter jokes.
That's true. Absolutely true.
So Davy and Peter go to the beach where the buff guy is, and Davy challenges him to step over a line. Like, you better cross this line in the sand. And then he does it. And he's like, cross this line in the sand. And while this is going on, Peter's behind the buff guy, spraying red dots on his back. And then they take off. And so then Brenda shows up.
Hi, chick.
And Peter comes running out wearing a doctor's outfit and a mustache, asking if anyone called for help. And Brenda says no. And then Peter says, how can no one call for help when this guy's back looks so awful? And then Peter tells buff guy to hold his breath and to keep holding it, keep holding it, keep holding it. And then when he lets his breath out, it's like a hurricane. And you see like stock footage of a beach getting ravaged.
More stock footage.
Yeah. And then
Gerald Gardner must have all the stock footage. He's got the briefcase full of the collapsing buildings and stuff.
Yeah, or he owns it. Whenever they use it, he gets paid a little bit. So he's like, we should put more stock footage in this. So Peter tells a buff guy to cross your knees, and then Brenda does it, and he says, no, not you, dear. And he pushes her leg down, and then she says,
Don't do that.
she had two don't do that's going already.
And I think that might be her only line that isn't the last line of the previous dialogue.
Yeah, that's pretty true. So Peter hits the buff guy in the knee, and he tells him that he's going to be a weak, spineless jellyfish, and if there's anyone that he wants to beat up, he should do it soon. And he charges him $10. And so Peter and Davy roll a volleyball over to Buff, and he can't even lift up the ball. And Davy turns to the camera and says that it's made of lead. And then Buff says, without his strength, he's nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Isn't this where Davy busts out one of his trademark, oh?
I think he does, yeah. I wonder with so many writers who had their fingers on what. Like, I bet you the girl repeating the line throughout the whole thing drove Caruso crazy.
Probably, yeah.
Once is funny, twice is a callback, 3 is a call hack. Get a new joke, you bums. Thank you, D.
Awesome.
So Davy pretends to be a little kid, and he's holding a lollipop in front of his face. And he goes up to Buff, and he gives him a kite, and he asks him to hold on to it while he goes and gets a popsicle. And then Buff is lifted off the ground because the line is connected to a Zeppelin that's on its way to someplace in New Jersey, like Bayonne, New Jersey or something.
Bayonne, New Jersey, yeah.
And Bayo, like Scott Bayo?
Bayonne.
Bayonne.
Bayonne, New Jersey. You know, I used to have a girlfriend in Bayonne, New Jersey.
Oh, boy.
So back at the pad, Davy and Peter telling Micky about their exploits. And Micky says it doesn't matter because Brenda likes guys with muscles and he doesn't have any. And the boys says that they have him covered, and they give him like these shoulder pads to put on and then a big winter coat to put on over it. And they tell him that this is his beach casual look. And he just looks like he has huge muscles underneath his coat. So back to the beach. He walks up to Brenda in the coat and starts to talk to her. And we see Buff and Shaku hanging out together for a second. And then Buff walks off. And honestly, I thought this was going to turn into something more. Like there's going to be more cahoots with these two dudes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like he was in on it all along kind of thing.
Yeah, but they don't really push that idea. I don't know. And again, it might have been having so many writers coming in and out and wanting their different ideas in.
Maybe it's just a thread they didn't follow up on, maybe, and
just let it go.
Got busy with the romping.
Yeah. So Micky's trying to woo Brenda, and he's telling her that he's been working out. And then Buff shows up and grabs Micky and just throws him back to where Shaku is sitting. And Shaku asks Micky if his own way of getting in shape is working.
Maybe this time you'll believe me. I'm a believer.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
That was a pretty cute line. I like that. Peter and Davy are talking, and Micky shows up, and he just looks awful. He looks terrible. His shirt is awesome, though. It's like a beatnik Beethoven. It's a shirt ahead of its time. It's amazing.
Very cool.
And then Peter says that Micky hasn't eaten in 2 days, and Micky says it's to purify his tissues, and then he passes out. He wakes up, and he says that he's going to join Weaklings Anonymous with Shaku, and Peter says he's going to call him and give him a piece of his mind. And he just holds out his hand, and the red phone pops up in it. Like a little jump cut there.
Nice.
And Peter tells Shaku that Micky's falling down because he hasn't eaten. And Shaku mistakes Peter for Micky's mother and tells him to give him rice and that he'll be fine. And when he hangs up, Shaku tells Buff that he's going to go pick up Micky, and after he signs a contract, he'll hawk his drums. And it's weird how they're pushing... again, I thought that they were trying to break up the monkeys somehow, because they're so focused on Micky selling his drums. I get it's the only thing that he could get money for, but they're pushing it so hard that I was expecting something else to come out of it.
Maybe it's just reminding us that the Monkees is a band. Just isn't a show about like three dudes hanging out.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man. Yeah, it might just be that, just to remind us.
This is not Happy Days.
Yeah, I thought maybe like Buff wanted to be a drummer, so they're trying to get him to get Mickey's drums or something.
Oh, you think it's a Honey and the Bear situation going on?
That's what I thought, but what can you do? So back at the pad, Micky is serving food, and Peter asks where the steak is, and Micky says it's in the garbage where it should be.
Steak has fat. That clogs your veins. Davy, that's probably why you're so short. Your veins are all clogged.
And side note, how the hell are they eating steak anyway? Davy was just saying they got to sell the drums for food, and the food they have is 3 steaks?
Yeah.
They are.
What the heck?
They must have found them in the garbage too.
Maybe it was that rubber one from a few episodes ago.
Perhaps. They took a chunk out of Mr. Schneider's ass.
Oh my God.
It's like the movie Alive.
Oh, man.
That's where Mike is. They ate him.
Oh, times are tough, man.
They tried to go with my darker timeline, but they wouldn't buy it.
Oh my God.
So anyway, so Micky has prepared.
The essence of a healthful cuisine. Voila! Fried fermented goat milk curd, burnt in a dash of lemon seed oil to a crisp, golden green.
And it looks like lumpy shamrock shakes in a bowl. It's or like the old KFC fluorescent green coleslaw.
Or the cream and root beer shit from last season.
Yeah.
That's what happened to it after they found it again on the set after this few months.
So Peter and Davy wonder if they can save the steak from the garbage. And Micky says that he's also made scraped mountain moss au gratin in a peanut shell base.
You made the peanut shell base yourself.
Of course you did, you twit. You can't get a thing like that in cans.
And Micky dishes it out, and Peter says,
I'm so glad Mike isn't here.
Mike would not stand for this.
No.
Later on, Micky complains that they didn't eat much of their dinner, and Davy is talking with Mr. Schneider and asking if they should kill Micky now or later.
For food?
For food, yeah. And suddenly Shaku bounds through the door, and Davy says, that's the second one we're going to kill.
Oh my God.
Davy's not, he gets hangry. He doesn't eat right. That little guy gets angry about everything. Starts wanting to kill people.
He's starving to death. It's been several episodes since he's had a bird.
Yeah.
Something's got to give, man.
Yeah, exactly. Even in this episode, it's at the beach and Micky's getting the girl. He must be going crazy. I'm pent up, man. I'm pent up.
She's got my jacket.
So Shaku says it's no wonder Micky is so unhealthy, and he walks around just like ripping on the monkey's pad. And side note again, the monkey's pad, if you were in your early 20s, not even just in the 60s, kind of any time, and you had that place, that is an amazing place.
I'd move there now.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of room for the kids. A nice beachfront view.
Yeah.
Occasional horse outside.
Man. But if you were in like even a somewhat popular local even band, that is the place. You play some show in LA, everybody come back to our beach house, and it's like, yep, let's have a great time all the time.
For realsies.
So Shaku says that Micky is the weakest person he's ever met, but says that Davy should stand up and join them.
I am standing up.
And Shaku berates Davy for being so short. And Micky says that he was born that way. And Shaku tells Micky to come with him so his friends will see his marvelous results. And then they take off. And then Peter shows up and asks Davy who was with Micky. And Davy says that was Shaku and asks if he knows him. Peter says no, but he just saw him at the corner buying a soda, a hot dog, and some chili. And then it dawns on him that he's not as pure as he's saying he is.
Oh, he's a fraud.
Mickey's getting rused.
Can you believe it?
The ruser becomes the rusee. So at Weaklings Anonymous, Shaku is telling all of his new followers the benefits of WA. And while he is, Peter and Davy show up and are trying to put on these uniforms. And Davy's mad at Peter for stopping to eat hot dogs. And he says that he owes him a nickel. In the room, Shaku is spouting off some nonsense, and the followers are all super dumb.
Weakness is strength is bone to me.
Shaku gives Micky a pen and asks him to sign the contract. And then he says, and Mickey's like, no, I can't do it. And he says,
Have no fear of embarrassment, Mr. Dolan. It's a lightweight pen.
I feel that's a Gardner Caruso 1-2 punch there.
Oh, for sure.
And so Micky says he doesn't feel like a weakling. And Shaku says that that's how it starts. And soon he'll feel free to admit to being a loser. Like his exact words.
Soon you will feel free to admit to being a loser.
Damn.
So in the back room, Davy and Peter are having a hell of a time putting on a sweatsuit. And I'm used to just taking them off, man. Rarely I put one on, you know, man. There you go.
Davy.
And Peter has the hood on the wrong way. It goes in his face, but they'd go out anyway like that. And it's a great little scene with Davy and Peter. And we don't get those very often, just a Davy-Peter scene. And it's
kind of fun when they pair off and do something silly.
Yeah, because they're both funny in a different way than Mike and Micky are funny. Peter can be kind of a dummy, but Davy's kind of short and has that kind of thing going. And it's just Davy works really well. They all work well together, but Davy one-on-one with any of them can really bring the best out of everyone, I find.
It's true.
Because the Davy-Mike scenes are always great, too.
Mm-hmm. I think Davy's got probably the deepest acting background, and having to improvise and play off other people.
Yeah, that's true too.
In a live setting most of the time, right? And it's probably really helps and maybe came a little more naturally to him than the other guys. Even though it's always a lot of fun when they goof around. Yeah,
he could probably also adapt well to the other guys. Like if the guys aren't quite picking up what he's doing, he can swing to what they're doing.
Yeah.
So Shaku asks some of the other weaklings to tell their story and how Shaku has helped them. And then Peter goes up and he says that one night a cab left him out in the middle of nowhere when it was raining and told him to get out, and that Peter really gave it to him. And Shaku asks what he gave him, and Peter says,
I gave him a quarter.
And Shaku makes a move, and a few henchmen shuffle Peter out of there. Shuffle Peter. So Davy goes up next, and he says that he used to be 6'2", but they put so much weight on his shoulders that it squished him.
Oh my God.
And then Davy gets chased out of there, but somehow Peter gets back on stage and no one realizes it's the same person as 14 seconds ago. And he says that it used to be picked on by bullies, but now no one picks on him. And then that's where it ends. And it's like, well, that goes against the whole point of making it seem bad. It's like, so maybe I missed something there.
And that scene and how they do it has the same flavor as the Dance-A-Go-Go thing. But they're in the disguises and they're like trashing the thing that's ripping them off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they just kind of mad-libbed another establishment into the situation.
So Shaku says that he'll show how strong he is, and he grabs the hand of one of the big, enormous dudes by him, and then the guy goes down like a sack of potatoes. And then Davy runs on stage, knocks Shaku over, and we see his underoos with the red polka dots on them. And then pandemonium breaks out, and you can feel this coming as it's starting to erupt. It's Monkey's Romp, number
Things are
one.
getting rompy.
And it's Sunny Girlfriend, great tune.
Oh, yeah.
Right? From Headquarters, correct?
Correct.
And with this song, I only knew it from the live album for a long time because I didn't have Headquarters for a while. So the first time I heard it with like the backwards cymbals at the beginning, it like blew my mind. Yep. So it's full on romp. This has been the most insane romp I think of the second season as far as just footage thrown in. Like everyone is wrestling. The boys are in the Monkey Men outfits for some reason.
Like unannounced.
Unannounced entirely. It's not even like a flashback to another episode. It's like it's in this episode doing these Monkey Men outfits.
Like there's probably they probably had a whole thing about getting into the outfits at some point, but it didn't make the cut due to this enormous romp.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's like lots of shots from the opening credits and old episodes, like
Yes.
a ton of it.
Like when they're in like the pajamas and stuff, and then when the Peter gets kidnapped episode, and
Them on
is
the
it
beach.
the same workout area. There seems to be the same types of equipment and stuff, but yeah, a lot of familiar stuff. He's got a few shots of Mike in there, so we're not.
Yeah.
So he's not. So it's not a completely Mike-less episode, and he's singing the tune, so it's a good time.
No, it is a good time. There's Davy trying to beat up a buff guy a number of times, and finally the guy goes down for some reason. A bunch of surfing shots. Micky walking around in the winter coat and shoulder pads. There's Davy spraying shaving cream all over the dudes, which is weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, there's a shot of Mike in like the steam bath with just his head sticking out. Peter steals bowling pins like from himself at one point. He's like throwing these things at himself, another version of himself. There's a few blatant butt shots of Brenda or another blonde girl who happens to be in this. A lot of fake rowing as well. A lot of them on those weird rowing machines.
Yeah, and they get the rowing machine back at the pad somehow for a minute there.
Yeah, in the Monkey Man outfit.
What the heck?
And then a lot of swinging on ropes as well. And that's the romp. It was nuts. Like completely. This wasn't one that really advanced the story like the romps have been recently. This was just a full-on
This is
romp.
a first season style romp and a very first season style episode so far.
Very much, very much. So back at the beach, Micky's laying there with Brenda, and he says that he's developing a muscle in his chest to eliminate breathing.
Yeah, breathing.
And then a nerd walks across their blanket, and Micky gets mad at him.
It's Remembrance of Things Past, Volume 3 by Marcel Proust.
And Brenda's all of a sudden able to speak in a full sentence.
Ooh, I just love a man with a mind.
And Micky's all bummed out about it. And Brenda walks away with the nerd, and Micky has like a mini meltdown.
I have a mind. No, I don't have a mind. I lost my. I have a body, though. I don't have a body. I'm like her.
And then that's the end of the episode storyline. But we zip into the Rainbow Room for a performance of Love Is Only Sleeping. And it's phenomenal.
I love this tune. Love them performing this tune.
It's amazing.
They're all into it.
Yeah.
Cool camera shots with Mike in the foreground and Pete in the background.
Yep. And
Pete's on the bass.
Pete's on the bass.
On the bass a whole lot. In the Rainbow Room, he's mostly on the piano.
Yeah, Mike guitar, Pete bass, Davy on the drums, and Micky playing this weird, huge radio and backup vocals. I gotta say, Davy playing drums, when you see him up there playing, it's like he looks more natural and comfortable playing drums. I've noticed that more this time than any time I've watched the Monkees. Because Micky's a good drummer, and he definitely plays well, but Davy seems like a drummer. Like the way he moves and how he's hitting things, it's like he's a drummer.
Look at how he hits things.
Look at how
that's a drummer.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And one thing I also gotta say is Mike Nesmith can wear a goddamn suit.
Yeah, dude. I think we've mentioned it. I don't know if it was this exact song last time, but with those ruffly sleeves, with the tie, like the business look up on the neck, but the ruffly English sleeves. Oh,
yeah,
what a look!
It's amazing. It's great. This song is also amazing. So you can't say enough.
With that big guitar too.
Yeah, great with the big guitar, and yeah, it's a great thing. And you can tell it's on that day where they filmed all those songs in that long burn, and then did that interview at the end of it. Like,
oh, for sure.
Oh man, no wonder they all look so exhausted. But yeah, and then that is the full episode. That is I Was a 99-pound weakling. Overall thoughts for me, it's a really funny episode. It's weird that there's no Mike other than the romps in the song.
Yeah.
But it's great to see the Davy Peter relationship and that thing going on. And some role reversals in the things, like it's Micky is getting the girl and wanting to get strong so he can get the girl, rather than Davy going for the girl and getting the girl.
Yeah. It's been a minute since we had a Micky episode. It's been this much a Micky episode. Like, I know he was in the gunfight and all that, but that wasn't necessarily a Mickey episode. But this very much was.
Yeah, and you had a lot of heavy lifting to do too because no mic. So there was an empty chair there he had to fill up. Or I guess they all did, but it seemed like it fell more on Mickey.
And like we said earlier, some like very season 1 style things like being at the beach, a very elaborate romp, and just felt like the Monkees. And also the fact that their band is also kind of backburnered.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was a good episode, and it felt like obviously Mickey's got his early 67 hair, so it practically is a season 1 type episode because it's from back then, and it's our boys Caruso and Gardner, and it's got that vibe, man.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good time, good times. So any guns? No guns.
Really? Wow.
I don't think so. It's all about fisticuffs in this one, but how strong you
I
are.
suppose that's true.
Maybe I missed a gun in the romp, perhaps, but
They might have snuck one in the romp. But I can't think of a gun situation.
Yep. No.
Let's see, count Peter shooting the stuff on the Buff's back. I don't think that counts.
No. Highlight of the show. It's I don't know, to be honest with you. It's such an even show that nothing. Oh, you know what I'll do? For me, Mickey, when he's trying out all of the equipment and going full Mickey, when he's flopping around and going nuts. That'd be my highlight, I think.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
What about
like Mr. Schneider showing up again?
Yeah, right when we mentioned.
I'm not sure we're going to see him much more often.
Yeah, right when we said, no more Mr. Schneider. That's weird. All of a sudden he's popped up in 2 episodes. So
yeah,
who knows? Was there a Monkees ruse? I guess when Peter and Davy were pretending to be the Weakling Anonymous people.
Oh, that's a ruse.
What?
Peter's a doctor. That's a. You better believe that's a ruse.
It's true, and Mickey got rused.
Absolutely rused.
Yeah. Fourth wall break. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. All of the I wish Mike was here's were fourth wall breaks. When they talk about that the volleyball is lead, that was a fourth wall break.
Yep.
Best musical moment, no surprise. Love's Only Sleeping, but if it wasn't Love Is Only Sleeping, like Sunny Girlfriend is so good. It's very tricky. I say the reason it's a better musical moment is because of the visuals of it.
It's true.
And I guess it's a better song, but
however, this is the only appearance Sunny Girlfriend will make in the show.
Then we probably have to give it to Sunny Girlfriend.
I think we got to give it to Sunny Girlfriend.
Yeah. And actually, in the live version, when Mike introduces it, he calls it Scroungy Girlfriend. And when we were trying to think of names for this podcast, that was one of the ones I threw out there, Scroungy Girlfriend.
Scroungy Girlfriend?
Which wouldn't, if people saw that, they would have no idea what this podcast was about.
For real. Yeah.
But it's a hilarious thing. Classic Monkees moments. There's Mickey says, "Don't do that" to Peter. Davy has his moment. And even Brenda says, "Don't do that" to Peter.
And I wish Mike was here. Sort of becomes a monkey moment.
Yeah.
Throughout the rest of the season. And I think there's a couple more where he is not there.
Weird. He's sowing his oats. What wouldn't fly in 2021? I don't know. Maybe the girl being so vapid and dumb, and maybe some of the bum shots. Just the blatant.
Come on. Like, this, you can make this plot wise. This could be an episode of Modern Family. This could be an episode of any show that's out today, because this kind of this physical culture, cultist type stuff still goes on big time.
Yeah, no, that's very true. It's very true. So it makes sense. So some did you knows. There's not a lot for this episode, really. David Draper, the guy who plays Buff Guy. Actually, his name in the episode is Bulk.
Does anyone ever say it?
No, I don't think anyone ever says it. But when it comes up in things,
it's a chooch. It's a chooch situation.
It is. So Bulk or Buff, his name's David Draper, and he has 8 IMDb credits, going from 63 to 69. Many times just playing a bodybuilder in different things. Vanita Wolf, who is Brenda, she only has 10 IMDb credits, going from 1966 to 1969. But she was on an episode of Star Trek called The Squire of Gothos, which is apparently an important episode. Or maybe not. I don't know. It just seems that's the thing she's most known for. So,
Okay.
and and that's really all I got on this one.
Yeah, it's. I think you about caught it. Oh, I did read somewhere that the nerd at the end had auditioned to be one of the monkeys.
Oh, really?
Didn't make it.
Huh. At least they brought him back for something.
Yeah, why not?
I bet you some of the. I guess if you're auditioning for things, something you tried out for that got big and you weren't in it, it doesn't really affect you like crazy, like because it probably happens a lot. And
For sure.
You know what I mean? I'm always like, oh, I must be devastated. But if you get devastated over every acting role you don't get, you're going to have a long, hard life, I think.
Like over 400 dudes tried out for the monkeys through that audition. Only Mike got the job that way.
That's crazy.
Everyone else, like Davy was already a contract player. Micky was a showbiz kid. He kind of knew some people. And Peter was sent there by Stephen Stills, who had failed to make the monkeys, but recommended Peter for some reason. And like, what a guy!
Yeah, that's great. That's really awesome. And lucky Mike, the only one.
Heck of an audition, though.
It is. It's a great audition. And what is that I hear?
Oh, I know that
A
sound.
theme song on the horizon. It is about that time. Everybody's favorite second half of the show. The Woolhat of Mystery. The Randomatic Countdown. Woolhat of Mystery. Did I say it right that time? I feel like I always say it differently.
It's the Randomatic Countdown featuring the Woolhat of Mystery.
There you go.
Or the Woolhat of Mystery Randomatic Countdown Extravaganza. Take your pick.
Just rolls off the tongue.
For real, it looked great on the bumper stick.
All right, so it's been a few weeks. I don't remember who went first the last time.
Yeah, it's true. We had the special, and then we also had the slip-in thing. And wow, so yeah. How about you just go ahead and
Here we go.
get your phalanges in there.
Here we go. Is our streak of awesomeness going to continue? Little Girl from Good Times.
The answer is no.
Little girl, don't you be brought down. Cheer up, I'll turn your frown. Sunny side up, come fill your cup.
That's Little Girl, written and sung by Peter Tork on side 2 of Good Times, of which, for me, it's not much of. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
I love the Pete tunes. We sort of designed the honorary slip-in to get more Pete tunes into the countdown, but I'm not a fan of this tune, and I do not put it on very often.
I agree. And it's not even that it's a bad tune. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could see some people who are really into it.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them. I apologize, but I am not.
It's our show, and we're allowed to have this kind of opinion.
And as you're saying, it was a song written by Peter for Davy to sing. And if you go on YouTube, there is a version of it. It's a live version from Peter Tork singing at CBGB's on July 31st, 1977.
Anyway, this is the tune. It's called Sunny Side Up. It goes something like this. It goes exactly like this. Little girl, don't you be brought down. To cheer up, I'll turn your frown. Sunny side up, come fill your blood.
Are there any versions with Davy singing it?
Not that I've found at all. So if you do want to go into a little girl deep dive, you can check out that other version on Peter Tork. It's up as Little Girl and then in brackets Sunny Side Up. So check it out. But okay, where will we put this on the Randomatic Countdown?
Man, oh man.
So we got Theme from the Monkees, then Let's Dance On, then Teardrop City, Pillow Time.
Down.
Yeah, it's like almost near the bottom.
How about between Don't Bring Me Down and We Were Made for Each Other, our new number 87 here at Podcast Valley Sunday?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So our new number 87, Little Girl from Good Times.
Excellent.
And now it's my turn to get on in that Woolhat of Mystery and find a tune.
All right, get ready.
Gonna be a good one. I can sense it. Oh. It's Getting In by Peter Tork.
Double Peter.
Double Pete.
I'm getting into your heart. I'm getting into your mind. You better learn from the start. You'll never leave me behind.
So this one will do a little better on the countdown. That's for damn sure.
Darn tootin'.
So yeah, man. Getting In. Written and sung by Peter Tork from side one of Pull It, Paco's favorite album.
Heck yeah.
And like this is probably Peter's most like, I don't know, fully realized tune, and like he's super into it, and he's really strong performance all the way through, and he's really getting in to this song.
It's true. I can say I remember when going back to the box set.
The jarring part of the last half of the box set, the mic disc, the blue disc, disc 4, it goes from like that sort of AM radio vibes of the Changes era, blam, right into this extremely 80s trendy Casio tone. And the guitars sound like they're pink Ibanez with a whammy bar.
Yeah.
And it's jarring, but it was the style of the time.
And I have to say the song that the 80s-ified Monkees works the best on for me is this song. It's like Peter's into it. It's not like it's Micky's voice or Davy's voice that you put with the Monkees instantly. Yeah. And he comes in and he kills it. And I always remember this song stuck out to me as a great tune. And then when we did the Pool It live, it's a song that doesn't translate live very well. And it's nothing to do with Peter, nothing to do with anything. It just, because I remember here, I was like, oh, I guess Getting In wasn't as good as I remembered it being. But when we just pulled it, we re-listened to it, I was loving it. That was awesome. Mm-hmm. I was super stoked.
It's a busy tune musically. Yeah. Like that riff just doesn't stop.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
It throughout the verses like toot toot. It's like holy shit.
Yeah, and the way Peter sings it, I'm getting into your heart.
Does Peter sing it or does Morrissey sing it?
Put some Johnny Marr guitar on that, some jangly guitars. That could have been a great Smith single. I'm going to say I think this should be our highest Pool It song thus far.
Well, that's damning it with faint praise.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's find where the highest Pool It is.
It ain't that high. Man, oh man. I'm down in like the 50s. We gotta put it way up higher than this shit. Whole Wide World is at 63.
Okay, it's burying that one, I'll tell you right now. Okay, so let's do this. Do you like it more or less than how about Moonfire?
Oh, we're going right up there, aren't we, bud?
I'm just saying. Just testing the waters here.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down there, bud. Let's put it. Yeah, I'd go for this before Admiral Mike, and yeah. Well, how about? Wow, I guess right below Mary Mary, we got. Yeah, let's go there. Right below Mary Mary, our new number 31.
There you go.
Getting In by Peter Tork. bringing up the average score of the Pula tunes
In a big way. In a big way.
large factor.
But there's some people out there being like, are you really? This is above both Daydream Believer and I'm a Believer.
And laugh? Fuck it. It's our countdown.
Yes.
You know, we'll put them where we want. And, gang, you should have seen Paco dancing to this song over the Zoom, man.
This is when we should have been filming ourselves.
Absolutely. We're bringing it back.
All right. So I'm
For
reaching.
sure.
All right. So I'm reaching in. I've got the final song from the Woolhat for the day.
Yeah. Be another Pete.
Ladies Aid Society.
With Ladies Aid Society, and we're really a great bunch of girls.
Okay. Ladies Aid Society off the Monkeys Present. What?
Did you say society?
Did I say society? That's how much it means to me. So, Ladies Aid Society, off the Monkeys Present. What the hell? What is this? Again, going back to sometimes the songs Davy's singing he doesn't understand what a rock band is, whoever's writing this stuff for him. Maybe they thought it was funny. Maybe they thought it was kind of Beatle-y. You know what I mean? Like those weird songs.
And this is a Boyce and Hart number, if you can believe it.
Really?
For realsies. You know, sometimes they get a little silly.
Yeah, but
A little too 50s for their own good or whatever. But
what is this from? Like this is I'm not a fan of Ladies Aid Society, I've got to say.
we catch some hate mail for like bad mouth in any Davy song. But like you said, come on.
So anyway, let's get on with this. Would you listen to this or Teeny Tiny Gnome?
I tell you, man, I got some teeny tiny gnome vibes off of this tune, or like, you know, the terrible song Davy dances to in 33 1/3. That kind of vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would put this behind Teeny Tiny Gnome.
I agree.
Be due to the sick guitar solo in Teeny Tiny Gnome.
That's very true as well. And Teeny Tiny Gnome, at least, it's kind of silly, but it's supposed to be. It's like the Archies, you know what I mean? And it's just not our vibe. But Ladies Aid Society, maybe it goes over my head. I don't know.
I think I got to put it behind Never Tell a Woman Yes, because at least that gives quality advice.
Yeah. So are we going like, I Can't Get Her Off of My Mind, like right before that?
I don't know, man. I dig Secret Heart. This is, okay, Laugh. Laugh is the moment of truth here. Above or below Laugh for Ladies Aid Society.
I'd listen to Laugh before Ladies Aid Society.
There you have it, folks.
There you go.
Our new number 109
Wow.
is Ladies Aid Society.
When you come into the countdown in triple digits, you never stood a chance.
It's not good. No bullet.
No bullet. I got to say, Getting In pulled this one up. It being in the middle, it's like a tent. You have the two sides pretty low, but the middle's pulled up high to make it livable.
Oh, yeah, man. We might have, if any other song, we might have quit the podcast.
It might have been done today.
So anyway, yeah, Ladies Aid Society. It is where it is. Written by Boyce and Hart and sung by Davy, and not entirely enjoyed by Podcast Valley Sunday.
No. And on that note, we are going to wrap up. I was a 99-pound weakling, a.k.a. physical culture for some reason.
Physical culture. Catchy.
Yes, very catchy. Thanks for checking us out. As always, we will be back in 2 weeks. And from me, Paco.
And me, Jeff.
Have yourselves a monkey's little evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.